Hello guys, Bearded Coder here. So welcome to a new tutorial. In this tutorial we will build a simple app in which I'll try to send some data from this edit text view to the next screen. So I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, let me show you the app that we created in the last tutorial. So this is the app that we created. In this I told you about the different layouts and how to use them. As well as I also told you about different widgets like this edit text, this text view, this button and this image view. So today we'll send the data that user enters from here to the other screen by clicking on this button. So let's get started. So guys, first of all we'll have to declare the edit text view and button on top of this main activity. So how will we declare it? We'll just start by typing edit text. And we'll give a name to that edit text. Let's say name. After that we'll we'll declare a button also. Button. And we'll also declare a variable called string in which we'll store the data entered by the user here. So string, we'll just string data. So now first of all we'll have to declare these variables, initiate these variables like this. Edit text name is equal to find view by id r dot id dot. Same for the button. We'll have to declare here also edit text, and this is a button. Okay guys, so we have initialized these variables. So what this has done is it has created this object edit text, and we have initiated this, and we have got this edit text hello from this layout file. As you can see here, it's edit text hello. So this activity knows that this edit text name is to be used with this edit text view, edit text hello. So now what we have to do is we'll have to, if we want to do anything on a button click, we have to set a set on click listener for that specific button. So how we do that is we'll just type button btn, name that you have kept here, dot set on click listener, on click listener. Then you'll have to type new on click. And what this does is, if you can see here 3 dots, and if I press enter here, it will automatically generate the remaining code for me like this. So it has generated an override on click method, and here I will get all the data that the user has entered, and on this button click I'll assign the data from this to a variable called data, which is a string variable, so that we can send it to the next screen. So how we do that is I just click data, that is the string here, is equal to, in order to get text from an edit text, what we do is we'll have to write the name of that edit text, whatever we have chosen, that is edit text underscore name in this case, that dot get text, and we have to get that text into string format, so dot to string. So all the text that the user has entered in this edit text value has been stored in a variable called string data. So in Android, whenever we have to go from one screen to another, we use a method called intent service. So in order to start an intent, we'll have to write like this: intent, I'll create an object intent is equal to new intent. Now here we have to mention from the home activity to the destination activity. So in this case, the home activity is this main activity dot this, comma, which activity we want this intent to go. So we'll have to write that activity here. But first of all, I'll have to create a new activity. As you can see, I have only one activity here, that is the main activity. So in order to create one more activity, I'll have to click here, then right click, new activity, empty activity. So I'll name this second activity. You can see it will automatically generate a layout file also by the name activity underscore second. So now we can press finish. It has created a second activity for us. Now the whole application will sync. And I'll show you one more thing, guys, that this activity will automatically get mentioned in the manifest file. As we all know, manifest file is a very important file. It is basically the file which has all the activity names, the basically all the Android core components. If you want to use a broadcast receiver, you'll have to mention it there. If you want to use a service, you'll have to mention it there. So or an activity, everything gets mentioned in the manifest file. So you can see here manifest. This main activity was already created, and this second main activity has also been created. So what is this intent filter, guys? Intent filter does is, it is basically, it tells the app that we have to run this activity, which in this case is main activity, as the main launcher activity. So whenever this app gets triggered, the first activity to be called is this activity. We can also change this to the second activity, and we'll just have to copy paste this intent filter right here, this for whole intent filter, and then second activity will be called as the main activity. So for now, we leave as it is. So now let's head over to our main activity, and here what we'll type is, we'll type second activity dot class. So guys, if you want to send some data to the other activity, you'll have to use intent or bundles. For now we'll use intents, but in order to send data, that in this case is the string data that user has entered in that edit text view, what we'll do is we'll just type intent dot put extra, and we'll assign a key value to it to fetch this data in the second activity. For example, I'll just type data here, then we'll have to write comma, and then the data that we want to send here. So this data has been sent here in the key data. So now to start the intent, we'll have to write start activity intent. Now it will automatically go to this second activity. So in order to fetch that data here, what we have to do is, first of all, we'll have to create a text view where we will show that data. So for that, we'll head over to the XML file. Here I'll just change this to a linear layout, which, here we go. I'll set the orientation to vertical. I'll just assign a text view here, match parent, wrap content. I'll not assign any text here because it will automatically show the text from the previous activity. So I'll just assign text size 14 sp, text color black, gravity we'll assign it center, and we'll give a ID to the text view. Text view second short for activity. So we'll initiate this text view here, same as we did in the main activity, by typing text view. I'll keep the name same. Then here text view is equal to, it is same as we did before, guys, so I'm just typing it fast. So now in order to get the data through intent, what we'll write is, we'll write intent, small intent, get intent. So now how to fetch that particular data from intent, we'll just type intent dot get string extra. We'll just type here the key that was data, and we have to assign, first of all we'll have to store this data in some string value like we did in the previous activity. So I'll create another string get data. So what we'll do is we'll assign that get string data here, so that the data from that previous activity stored in the value or stored in the key data will be stored in this get data. So now if we want to set this get data to this text view, what we do is we just type get data, text view second act dot set text. It is as simple as that, guys. We just have to set text to that particular text view, and here we'll just type a string value, that is get data in this case. So now we have completed the code.